I want to keep it moving because I thought that was awesome. A couple things I'm seeing. This is only an on our feet thing that I remember we went over a ton. It's with our thumb, right? In this instance, I don't want my thumb on top, right? I don't want my thumb with my other fingers on the elbow or on the wrist, right? I've seen some guys just kind of underneath here like this. Okay, their thumb was on top. All right, JoJo, how much you weigh? About 60 pounds. I weigh about 230. So it's going to be really hard for JoJo to get out of this grip, right? But with my thumb on top, I think he has a chance. So go ahead and try to get out. Yeah, that's tough, right? But with my thumb underneath, JoJo, go ahead. It would be a while, right? So my point is, guys, when my finger's on top, 60-pound JoJo could probably get out. And I'm being real. I would squeeze as hard as I could. He'd eventually get out of that for sure, right? My thumb on top doesn't allow me to have the best grip I can have. With my thumb underneath, probably weeks. So with my thumb under there, I got to make sure that I can do that on the wrist and on the elbow, okay? Do not have a thumb on top, all right? Okay, so JoJo's down. We're going to go through our roll through again. I think one thing I saw, and I thought it would happen, is our elbows are out a little bit as far as this leg. They got to be inside that leg to help us roll through, okay? Everyone was coming out to the side. Everyone pulled that down to the hip. I was fired up about that, right? The high leg looked good, making sure that elbow is inside the leg. So I walk forward here, hand on the stomach, hand on the elbow, and chop. Okay, now I find this wrist, right? And I pull this thing tight. I want to drop my shoulder down to the hip, which helps me put my elbow on the inside of the leg, right? Drop my shoulder, elbow inside the leg. My head can go underneath as well, okay? I'm going to shift that weight and roll, right? That's what we did last time. Now, you got to stay with me here. Once we get to our back, right, this guy's going to roll through. Our partner's going to roll through, and we're going to go to our next one, right? But in our mind, it's like, okay, didn't get the roll through, just now going to my next one, right? As soon as we hit a certain point, I'll show you. So, shift the weight, high leg here. This guy rolls through, right here. When my knee hits the mat, his knee hits the mat. Okay, next move. So as he's rolling up, guys, you can see there's no weight on his wrist and on his arm. What I want to do is create space from his elbow to his body, okay? Because I'm putting my bar in there. I'm going reinforced bar still here. As we roll up, I'm going to push the wrist, and I'm going to pull the elbow. Front row, you can see that pretty good. There's a lot of space there. Sometimes it's just a little bit. Sometimes it's like that. But just enough to get my fist through, put it on the middle of his back. Then I cover it, right? I want to cover it, and now, with my freestyle, I'm running this like a gut wrench, right? Love gut wrench is running it up over the shoulder, okay? I'm going to break the shoulder. I'm going to run it down at about 2 o'clock. If his head is 12, if his arm is 3, I'm going about 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Right? Up over that ankle. So, cover that fist. I'm going to drive. I'm going to scoop and fall on my side. I'm not rolling on this one. Just falling on my side with my right knee, right, look, is scooping under his hips. Here, everybody ready? Scoop, elevate, take him to his back. I got my reinforced bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I roll up. I still have my bar, and I still have my wrist. This is a good transition. Another way you'll get here. JoJo, you're down? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get the wrist. JoJo's going to think he's safe, so he's going to go flat, right? And then I can look for my rebar. So, I have the wrist. He goes flat. Okay, some guys like to do that. I can tell you right now, I have way more options when he's flat than when he's on his knees. So guys think they're safe here, but I feel as though they're much more dangerous, right? So he's flat, I got the weight down on him. Something I like to do is drive, right? I'm gonna drive down, and for 1 second, I'm gonna give him a pull, and then I'm gonna push the wrist and pull the elbow. So I'm gonna drive, pull, there. Everybody see that? If I just try with all of his weights on his wrist and on his hand here, go like that. You're not going to do that against a guy your size, right? So I'm going to drive down first, right? You know, some of the crazy coaches say like the eat the mat. So I'm going to make it eat the mat. I'm going to drive down. Here, drive, and then I'm going to pull and shift that arm over. That's another way to find that reinforced bar, cover it, drive, scoop. Then, how I'd like you guys to drill it is get your rep in with the roll through, right? We're big on reps, tens of thousands of reps with something, and we can max it. Right? So this guy's down. Good. Good little position here, strong. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do my roll through tilt. As I'm rolling up, I'm gonna shift that arm over, okay? Partner's gotta be a good partner because they gotta roll through here. Set that leg forward, set it up, I'll whistle, lift, drop, jump. Find that wrist, I'm gonna pull it tight. Drop my shoulder down, elbow inside the leg here. Out to the side, shift, highlight. Once I get him here, JoJo's fighting, he's fighting. We're rolling up. Okay, at this point, push the wrist, pull the elbow. Yeah. Create that space, rebar it up, cover. I'm already set my feet. I'm ready to drive over that shoulder. Drive, shoot. Right here. I can work to elevate, work to get your knee up. Put them on the back, come up here. Any questions on that? All good. Anything to add? Good. All right, let's do it. 1, 2. So, JoJo's down. I'm going to be strong here. 2 ways to get to this position. All right. First one, I'm going to roll through my tilt, and then the guy's going to go flat. Okay. That commonly happens. And then the other one, I think, happens a whole heck of a lot too, because guys, again, they feel safe when they're flat, which puts them in more danger. So I'm going to find the wrist. He's going to go flat. My turn's a little bit different. I do a couple things differently. And I think those are cutting edge. Those are like really the biggest details, but just small little changes to what someone else maybe would show. So this guy's down. I'm gonna get the wrist. We're going 180 breakdown and just stay heavy on that. Right, getting reps in with that. I'm gonna find the wrist. JoJo's gonna go flat. Okay, here. Forward, hand on the stomach, hand on the elbow. Right. Chop. JoJo goes flat. Okay, perfect. They want to sit down there, be flat. That's totally fine. I'm gonna put my shoulder right in the middle of the back. Right? All my weight, 230 pounds, plus my leg drive right here. Down, down. Then I'm going to jump to the opposite side. Right side I have the wrist, I keep. Side I have the elbow, I let go. Right? But all the while, I'm driving down. I'm trying to save JoJo right here, but I'm driving. Right? And with my hand, I'm going to attack knee or above. If I go below the knee, what happens, JoJo? Knee bends. Knee bends. Knee bends. So, I got to go with the knee or above. Right? Because then it's not going to bend. I go here, oh, it's not going to bend. I don't want to just try and row it. Right? Even JoJo, he's got a pretty strong leg here. It's tough to row that. Throw your weight down. Right? Yeah, so we can. But when I can step my leg under there, use my leg, use my back and my arm here, there's no way this guy's leg's stronger than that. So I'm going to get my leg up under there. I'm going to step up. Rather than row it, I'm going to step up. So I keep my weight down. Right? I'm going to go right here. Right? You can't even really see that yet, but you'll feel it when I step up. Then I step through, then my knee goes towards his back. There. See how his hips flip? Well, we don't got him here yet, right? Because the number one defense while you're in a turn is crawl forward. JoJo crawls forward, his leg will come out. Okay. The way to stop this is when I get this jerk and I flip the hips, right? My knee is towards his butt. I got to solidify this backside. So what I like to do is use my own foot to put it on top. Everybody see that? I use my own foot, and I slide it on top. That's hard to do, right? You gotta make sure that we can think, like, okay, I'm gonna use my foot, leg into hand. That comes with reps. If we can't do that, that's totally fine. We're gonna take our time here, we're gonna keep him close to us, and I'm just gonna reach back, put it on my leg. Okay, then I'm sitting on him. He's not going anywhere. If I sit on this leg, how can he crawl forward? Right? If he starts to try to, like, drag himself forward with his arms, go ahead, there, I'll grab him right here, kind of by the traps, by the shoulders, pull him in. I can set myself forward, and I like to crowd him with this front knee. I like to crowd him, no space there. Okay? From here, guys, I got both hands free. Right? This is where wrestling kind of becomes a fight with rules. Right? You kind of got to get a little mean and aggressive in there. I have to find a space. So if he's going like this, and go ahead and block yourself off. Guys, do that. Well, I got to find his forehead, something to pull up, and I want to find this far shoulder. Right? Once I find this far shoulder, it's over. Got it. Right? I'm going to find this far shoulder. I'm going to elevate my elbow. The harder he fights, the more he chokes, and the more it's harder. Right? It's harder to defend. So the more he fights, harder it is to defend. So I'm going to elevate this around. If ref says watch the throat, that's totally fine. We go from here, right here. And then nothing happens. Nothing changes with the pressure. Ref thinks it's all good. Guy on bottom doesn't think he's choking, and it totally switches. And then, once he kind of gets off that, boom, right back down. Right? So I'm elevating this, walking it around, elevating the bottom leg. I like to sink down a little bit if I'm looking for that pin, walk it over, and get the fall. Right? So down one more time. So you're like blocking. Yeah. And then blocking your face, so I can't, yeah. Right there. Nice. What I like to do again, pull him in here. Keep him right in front of us. Both my hands are free, guys. Not really a rush. Find that far shoulder, right? So I'm gonna fight down here, pull, find this far shoulder here, right? That's kind of a strat. Again, once we find the far shoulder, we've got it, right? Elevate this elbow, walk, walk. Use this hand to guide us, right? Elevate. I like to sit down and find the fall. Okay, one more time. JoJo's down, right? When I get down on it here, I'm gonna find that edge. He's gonna go flat. Okay. 180 right down. Boom. JoJo's flat. Okay. My shoulders down. Right. Drive to there. All 234 pounds as hard as I can down on this guy. Okay. I'm gonna let go of his elbow, but I'm gonna keep his wrist. Let go of his elbow. Attack this knee. When I attack this knee, we're going knee or above. Because if we don't, it ends. So knee or above. I'm gonna set it on my leg. I'm gonna step up. Right. I'm gonna use my row here while I step up. I'm gonna step through. Everybody see that? And knee's gonna go down right there. Boom. Okay. Hips are flipped, but we gotta solidify the back. So I can use my own foot right here, put it on top of mine, or I can reach back and put it on. I really think that's important there. Make sure that you emphasize that. So pull this guy in here, then I'm attacking that far shoulder. Underneath, I can cup the head, walk this thing around, walk it around, sink, and get the fall. That's our Turk. So we can find that too, right? Come here. When we're taking a guy down, high crouch. I know you guys did a lot on your feet, so I'll finish here. So we're going high crouch, right? And we're taking this guy down. We can split the middle, find that Turk. Find it there. I think you find it a lot. Those type of situations, some like bar ankle scrambles, you might find a Turk. Just some ideas thrown out there. But here, we're finding the wrist guys going flat. We're going. Any questions? Questions? Yo.
Which way do you like to circle when you have that arm?
Yes. Okay. So once I'm in the Turk, here, you're saying once I'm here, right? Okay. I think that forward at first is important because I want all my weight on him. Once I find this far shoulder, I'm going to circle around his head, but also use my arm to guide him. Right? I'm not going out, but kind of at an angle while I'm circling, sink, circle. Just a little bit circle, a little bit forward, but not too much of either. Right? If I just go forward, then I lose it. And if I just circle, it's not really a photo back. That's a good question. Anything to add to that one?
I would just say, just make sure the younger guys are going under the arm and not.
All right.
Yeah. Good shit.
All right. So we go on our Turk here. It's fair to say some of the younger guys, if you're probably anything younger than junior high, the rest would be a little bit worried about going on the throat. I have, when the rest get worried, when I was that age, I have tried to go cup the head. That helps a lot. Some reps still, the bottom guys are losing it. And they're acting like they're choking, their face is all red. So the rep wants to make sure they're safe, and I understand that. As you get older, I'd attack that every time, right? Especially high school, junior high, and then college. You can grab the leg in college, it's a lot more gruesome. But when you're younger, go under the arm, and find that far shoulder.